What if I told you that the dream of turning lead into gold wasn't a mystical illusion, but the real science hiding behind the magic? Let's travel to the Middle Ages, where stubborn minds tried to decipher the secrets of the universe, and without knowing it, laid the foundations of modern chemistry. And then, you'll understand why this art was lost. You are about to discover the true story of alchemy, a mixture of technique, symbol, and patience. Welcome to Lost History, where you learn without getting bored, with scenes you won't forget. Stay until the end, because we will reveal the mental formula that turned metaphors into method and symbols into protocols. You'll see its legacy hidden in your kitchen, your medicine cabinet, and your daily life. Imagine a stone room. The breath of the alembic hums like a sleeping animal. The flame trembles beneath a copper vessel. In the margin of a stained notebook, someone draws a circle with a dot. The sun, gold. To ignore alchemy is to miss the exact moment when curiosity became procedure. The Middle Ages weren't just faith in scrolls. It was blown glass, calibrated furnaces, and tired arms stirring mixtures. If you just skip past it, you'll think science appeared suddenly, in a white lab coat. It was born in smoke, through trial and error, with symbols that sustained patience for years. Soon you will discover how they distinguished the true operators from the charlatans, why the philosopher's stone wasn't just about greed, and how the language of nigredo, albedo, and rubedo helped them experiment better. Gold does not rust, it seems immortal. In a world where the eternal was sacred, gold was material perfection. The philosopher's stone promised to elevate the vile to the noble, to purify matter to its highest form. It wasn't just wealth, it was teleology in a crucible, the idea that everything strives for its best version. But that wasn't all. The elixir of long life offered balance, health, and resilience. Its pursuit forced them to organize times, temperatures, vessels, and sequences. In modern terms, replicable protocols. And here is the incredible part. Chasing an impossible ideal forced the creation of good experimental practices. From the beginning, a clear line was drawn, the serious operators versus the puffers. The latter sold smoke, the former sealed their equipment with clay, called upon witnesses, and recorded time using prayers as a measure. It's not a matter of morals, but of credibility. If today you trust a laboratory and not an illusionist, it's because this battle was fought in the Middle Ages. Who won? The one who documented. The study of matter could be a form of devotion. In Christian monasteries and workshops of the Islamic world, to understand creation was to understand God's work. Alchemy fit into a worldview where nature and the creator did not compete. This might change how you see the Middle Ages, less Dark Ages and more workshop. If you were told that with patience and heat, you could elevate a base metal to its most perfect form, would you try it? What would you do? The amber drop descends through the glass neck. The scribe notes, 15 per minute. The monastery bell marks the experiment's rhythm. Alchemists developed a real technical muscle with operations that are the basis of chemistry today. Distillation, to separate the volatile from the fixed and obtain alcohols, oils, and strong waters. Sublimation, to make a solid rise as vapor and reform, purer. Calcination, using fire to reveal what is hidden. And dissolution and crystallization, which made the invisible visible in perfect geometries. Each operation required its own instruments, glass and metal alembics, curved neck retorts, the athanor for constant heat, the water bath for tempering, scales, mortars, and muffle furnaces. Surprisingly sophisticated for its time. Their theoretical compass was natural philosophy, which spoke of 4 elements and 4 qualities. A simplification, yes, but with great operative power. To rebalance these qualities meant to transform substances. The Hellenistic tradition and science in the Arabic language added nomenclature, classification, and an obsession with describing apparatus and procedures. And here's the part almost no one tells you. A flawed theory can guide good practices if it offers verifiable hypotheses. But there was also a mystical mirror. The great work followed several stages. Nigredo, the putrefaction, albedo, the purification, citrinitas, the illumination, and rubido, the perfection. These were real processes and at the same time, metaphors for the alchemist himself. Mercury symbolized the fluid, sulfur the fixed. Their marriage was both a chemical reaction and an ascetic exercise. The symbols didn't hide the work, they sustained it. They gave a narrative to months of repetition. And the incredible thing is that these cycles are the prehistory of what we now call iteration. Without a stopwatch, they measured time with prayers, not out of superstition, but for standardization. Figures like Jabir ibn Hayyan, or Geber, systematized the equipment and substances. Thanks to him, the laboratory ceased to be a mystical cave and became an operations manual. Albertus Magnus was a bridge between theology and nature, defending the technical core of alchemy as a way of honoring creation. And Nicholas Flamel, a historical scribe, became a legend, the fantasy of total transmutation. His myth teaches us something. Sometimes, legends fund the workshops and keep the experimental ecosystem alive. So, why was alchemy lost? It wasn't lost. It was transformed. Secrecy and codes made public verification difficult. The crackdown on fraud led to controls. And, above all, a new standard of truth was born. Scientific academies demanded repeatability and publication. The private symbol gave way to the written protocol and quantitative language. The result, the unified vision of matter and spirit lost traction. The technique survived, but the mystical framework faded. Alchemy didn't disappear. It dissolved into chemistry. Your kitchen, boiling, reducing, clarifying. Your medicine cabinet, alcohols, ointments. What you do without thinking was, at its origin, risk and laboratory. There wasn't a single day when someone turned off alchemy and turned on chemistry. There was a slow intellectual transmutation, from symbol to protocol, from secret to demonstration, from the jealous master to the critical community. So, as promised, here is the reward, condensed. We saw that the promise of the Philosopher's Stone was not a whim, but the engine that forced the development of purification techniques. We saw the ethical line between the serious operator and the charlatan, where documenting became the basis of trust. We remembered the method, distillation, sublimation, techniques we use today under other names. We understood that a map, even an inaccurate one like Aristotle's, could be useful for providing a path forward. And finally, we saw the great shift, the move from closed symbols to public protocols. What was lost was not the technique, but the mystical framework that surrounded it. The mental formula is this: a symbolic vision to sustain patience, plus a repeatable technique to approach the truth, plus a critical community to correct errors. The result is the birth of science. Save it. It works for a laboratory, a business, or a personal habit. Nigredo, chaos accepted. Albedo, cleaning the process. Citrinitas, clarity emerges. Rubido, the meaningful conclusion. The flame dies down. The glass cools. The notebook is closed. There was no gold in the cup, but there was gold in the method. The true transmutation happened within us. We learned to watch, to measure, and to wait. If this journey has shown you that magic had a real science behind it, and you understand why that art dissolved into modern chemistry, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Lost History and share this video. Every day, a new historical journey with scenes you won't forget.